morning, welcome to the Scrummy Cooking Kitchen. I'm going to make some soup today. I'm going to make you a white onion soup. Now this is slightly different to a French onion soup, which is brown and rich and you put loads of Gruyere cheese and stuff in it. This is a sort of lighter version and is finished with a little bit of cream. So the real difference between a French onion soup and a white onion soup is that with a French onion soup you want to caramelise the onions and you want them to go nice and brown, but with a white one you just want them to soften and go translucent but not turn brown. So you don't want them to have any colour, you just want them to stay white but be really soft and just bring that sweetness out. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to heat my pan, and in there I've got a big knob of butter and some oil, just a drizzle of oil. Into that I'm going to put some sprigs of thyme. You could use dried herbs if you want to, but obviously in this fresh herbs are better. I'm also going to put a pinch of salt and some black pepper. We will check the seasoning at the end, but I'm going to get some flavour in there as we go. Now in this bowl I have just diced up, well I haven't, my food processor has diced up a carrot, an onion and a stick of celery, and I'm just going to put about 2 spoonfuls of this into my pan. Now that's a little bit hot, can you hear that? I'm going to get it down to the minimum it will go down to and just mix that round. So with this onion, carrot, celery mixture, we literally just want to soften that as well. So into that I'm going to add my onions. This will bring the temperature down. So when I cut these onions, I cut some of them into circles, my onion rings, and some of them I've just cut in half and sliced. I'll turn that round. Now, this here, let's just get all these onions coated. I'm going to let that sweat, so I don't really need to move it around too much, just every now and again I'm going to move that around, and I'm going to let that sweat for about 10 to 15 minutes. So when that is nicely cooked through but not brown, I will come back and show you what to do next. I will add the garlic at this point actually, so I'm going to just pop whole garlic, I don't peel it, into the press. Let's just get that out. I'm going to leave that on the top because I don't want that to burn, and then that is my garlic done. Okay, so let that sweat off, 10 to 15 minutes, and then we'll come back and do the next step. Okay, so this is now nice and soft. You can see them in there. They just going to start colouring if I leave it too much longer. But they're nice and translucent and soft, a little bit stringy. Okay, so my next job is the bit that it's always a bit scary for me because I am so clumsy, but it's to put some brandy in and then set light to it. So I'm just going to have probably about a tablespoon of brandy. So I'm just going to pop that in like that, maybe a little bit more. That's just to burn the alcohol off, there we go. This is where I stand back, and I'm just going to let it go until those flames have completely gone, which means that the alcohol has gone. Right, so now I can stir that in. add my stock. I'm using a beef stock simply because I really like the flavour of beef and onion. But you could use vegetable stock, you could use chicken stock, you could use a stock that you've made. It's entirely up to you. So I've got a pint of stock in there, and I'm gonna turn the heat up on that because I just want it to cook off. And if I get any scum coming to the top, I'm just going to skim that off, so it makes it slightly clearer. So there is some scum coming. You're going to get that because you've got butter and things in there, and any impurities from the vegetables. So I'm going to let that simmer away while I skim it for just a couple of minutes. I've just cooked that off for a few minutes. I now want to just liquidise what I've got, and then I'm going to put it back onto the heat. So I am going to use my NutriBullet for this, and I am just going to carefully spoon that in. I don't want to put too much in at a time because it's quite hot and I don't want it to splash up and burn. Right, is that on? Yes it is. I'm just going to, oh, like that. I'm just going to pop this into a separate bowl as I go, and then I'll put it back in the pan when I'm done. I did take the sprigs of thyme out, by the way. I forgot to say that, I think. I took them out once I'd finished cooking the onions off because they'd done their job. Right, this is bound to splash, this one. Okay, let's get that back in there. Just pick up those extra bits. That can go. That can go in there. Okay, let's turn that back on. Now, see, that looks completely different now that it's all been liquidised. You could leave some big bits if you wanted to, but I like soup that is smoother. It's my own personal preference. Okay, so I'm just going to check the seasoning on that at the moment, see if it needs any more salt and pepper. A little bit more pepper. Salt's fine. It's lovely. It's not got that real bitterness of onions because we've cooked them down until they're sort of really, really soft. It doesn't give you that horrible sort of bitterness. It's just got the nice sweetness. Let's just rinse my spoon. I'm just going to take those other bits of scum off of there. Okay, the last thing I need to do with this soup is I need to add a dash of cream. So again, let's have a look. A couple of tablespoons, I would say. Let's mix that in. Going to go with a little bit more. It's double cream that I'm using. And there we have it. One final taste. Oh, that's really, really lovely. So there you have it. It's white onion soup. Let's turn that off. You can cook it for as long as you like, really. That can I can cool that and freeze that if I want to, if it doesn't all get eaten today. I've got soup then ready just to heat up whenever I want it. I would serve this, by the way, with a big dollop of parmesan. And maybe some like bits of bacon that I've crisped up as bacon croutons. That's what I'd have with that. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed that. If you have, please subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, give me a thumbs up if you liked it. Any comments, you know, I'd love to hear from you, and I'll see you on the next video. Alright then, bye!